The crowd roared as the final notes of Beyoncé's song echoed through the massive stadium. The stage lights dimmed momentarily before bursting into dazzling gold, illuminating the sea of fans cheering at the top of their lungs. It was another sold-out show, another unforgettable night in Beyoncé's world tour. Backstage, however, in the shadows behind the curtains, stood a girl silent, unnoticed, and trembling with a mixture of excitement and fear. Her name was Maya, a shy, 16-year-old girl who had always dreamed of singing but had never once stepped onto a stage. She wasn't a part of the crew, nor was she supposed to be there. She had come with her mother, who worked as a part-time cleaner at the arena and had managed to slip past security unnoticed. This was her one chance to stand where Beyoncé stood, to feel the energy of the stage, even if only for a moment. She pressed her back against the wall, her heart pounding as she clutched her worn-out notebook, the same one she had filled with lyrics she had written since she was a child. Maya had grown up in a tough neighborhood where dreams were often crushed before they could even take flight. But music had always been her escape, her secret world where anything was possible. And tonight, for the first time, she had found herself this close to the person she admired most in the world. Suddenly, footsteps, loud, purposeful. Maya's breath hitched as she saw Beyoncé herself walking toward her, surrounded by her team. The pop icon was glowing with post-performance adrenaline, but even amidst the chaos, her sharp eyes caught something a young girl, frozen in fear, gripping a notebook like it held all the answers in the world. Beyoncé slowed down, breaking away from her team. "Hey there," she said gently, her voice as smooth as honey. "Are you okay?" Maya opened her mouth, but no words came out. Her throat was dry, her mind blank. Beyoncé glanced down at the notebook, then back at Maya, offering a warm smile. "That looks important. What's in there?" Maya hesitated before, slowly handing it over, her hands shaking. Beyoncé flipped through the pages, her expression changing as she skimmed the handwritten lyrics. The words were raw, filled with emotion, pain, hope, love, and everything in between. She looked up at Maya. "Did you write these?" Maya nodded, barely breathing. Beyoncé studied her for a moment before motioning toward the piano in the corner of the backstage lounge. "Come with me. Let's hear one." Maya's eyes widened. Was this a dream? A prank? But no, Beyoncé was already walking, expecting her to follow. Her legs moved before her brain could catch up, and before she knew it, she was sitting at a grand piano, Beyoncé beside her. "Play me something," Beyoncé encouraged. Maya took a shaky breath, her fingers brushing against the keys. She had played this song 100 times alone in her tiny bedroom, whispering the words so no one would hear. But now, with Beyoncé watching, waiting, listening, she felt something shift inside her. She started playing, her voice quiet at first but gaining strength with each note. The melody filled the room, soft yet powerful, fragile yet unbreakable. When the song ended, silence hung in the air. Maya dared not look up until she heard the slow clap. She lifted her gaze to see Beyoncé grinning, her eyes shining with something close to admiration. "That," Beyoncé said, "was beautiful." Maya's heart swelled. "You really think so?" Beyoncé nodded. "You have a gift, and gifts like that, they don't belong in the shadows. They belong in the light." Maya blinked, emotions swirling inside her. Beyoncé wasn't just complimenting her, she was seeing her, truly seeing her. And that changed everything. Before Maya could even process what was happening, Beyoncé turned to her team. "We need a moment for her tomorrow. Let's make it happen." Maya barely slept that night. Her heart raced as she imagined what tomorrow would bring. Would she really step onto the stage? Would thousands of people hear her voice? Doubt crept in. But every time she felt afraid, she thought about Beyoncé's words. "You belong in the light." The next evening, as the stadium filled with fans, Maya stood backstage, her hands shaking. A microphone was placed in her hand, and she felt like she might drop it. The moment was here. Then, Beyoncé's voice rang out. "Tonight, I want to introduce you to someone special." The spotlight moved, illuminating Maya's tiny frame as she stepped forward, eyes wide, heart pounding. She took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and began to sing. The stadium fell silent, thousands of people hanging on to every note. Her voice, once hidden, soared through the air, filling the space with a raw, pure emotion that touched every soul in the audience. When she finished, the crowd erupted into cheers. Tears streamed down Maya's face. She had done it. She had stepped out of the shadows. Backstage, Beyoncé pulled her into a tight hug. "That was just the beginning," she whispered. "Now, go chase your dreams." And Maya did. That night, her life changed forever. Within weeks, her story spread across social media, music producers reached out, and soon, she was performing on stages she had only dreamed of. She recorded her first single, inspired by the lyrics Beyoncé had read in her notebook, and it became an instant hit. The world had discovered Maya's voice. Months later, Maya stood in a professional recording studio, her hands shaking again, not with fear, but with excitement. She was about to record an entire album, and at the production table sat Beyoncé, watching her with pride. "You ready?" Beyoncé asked. Maya smiled, gripping the headphones. More than ever, she had stepped out of the shadows for good, because sometimes all it takes is one person to believe in you and the world will follow.